Hey, it's Gary Lucas again. What I'm going to be talking about today is the Barbarian and how you guys can farm Torment 1 with just rares. So the first thing I want to talk about is the build. For this build, it's just going to be a fire build. I think this is pretty solid build. Obviously, there's a lightning build, which is also pretty solid, and physical, which kind of focuses on rend, but that's kind of falling out of favor now because of all the legendaries that are out there for Barbarian. Lightning is being really popular right now because of Thunder Fury, Shard of Hate, and all the move speed stuff you can do. So you just take Whirlwind, and Shard of Hate just kind of destroys everything. But for a more standard build, I think Hammer of the Ancients in a fire build is still quite solid. It's definitely good for destroying elite packs. It's not super fast in terms of solo speed farming, but it is great in groups. So you're going to be taking Frenzy. You can either take Berserk or Sidearm. I think those are the best ones. You could take Maniac. Yeah, it'd kind of be between these three. Obviously with Fire Skill, your Frenzy would even do more damage, which would make your Hota do more damage vicariously with this rune, or Berserk if you're finding trouble. I'm going to take Maniac. You're obviously going to take Smash here. It's just the highest damage one. I like Furious Charge with Merciless Assault. I think it's a really solid skill, and you'll actually be able to kill just a lot of things simply with your Furious Charge. Avalanche with Volcano synergizes really well with Hammer of the Ancients. You'll be spending a lot of Fury really quickly, so your Avalanche will be up quite a lot. Warcry, you can either take Charge or Impunity. If you find yourself having a lot of difficulty staying alive, you want to take Impunity, and if you just want the Fury regen, you take Charge. You're obviously going to gain a lot of armor just from using it, so that's going to increase your toughness. And then you take Wrath of Berserker. You can either take Insanity or Slaughter. Slaughter makes it so whenever you crit, you deal 300% weapon damage to enemies within 15 yards. That is just a lot of extra DPS. Insanity just straight up increases your damage by 50%. Either are really good, and those are the only two you would pick from. I like using Slaughter. You can also synergize it. If you think you don't need the Fury, you can grab Battle Rage with Bloodshed, which is basically the same thing but does a little bit less damage, and it synergizes well with Slaughter as well. For passives, I'm going to take Bloodthirst to help survive, Weapons Master for either increased damage or increased crit chance. You're never really going to use a mighty weapon in your main hand with this, or a pole arm. It's either going to be a mace, axe, sword, or dagger. You're probably not even going to use a dagger. It's going to be sword, mace, axe, or mighty weapon. So yeah, in my specific one, I have a sword in my main hand and a mighty weapon in my offhand. The mighty weapon, this only procs with your main hand, if I believe, yeah, even says. So I gain an 8% increased damage. Superstition, this is really going to help generate Fury, especially in things like Plague, Molten, etc., etc. Earthern Might also helps generate Fury. Since Avalanche is up actually quite a lot, using Earthern Might gives us a lot of extra Fury to spend on Hota, which then in turn brings Avalanche up more often, which in turn brings this up more often. So it's a pretty solid setup. You can also replace Warcry if you also feel like you don't need the Fury for Earthquake, and you can take Molten Fury for just even more DPS. Now let's take a look at Paragon points. So you're going to spend, as I said, basically everything in movement speed. I like doing this, and then everything else in strength. And then in offense, you're going to take crit chance, and then you're going to take crit damage. You don't need attack speed with this build because you have Frenzy, which will increase your attack speed. Granted, attack speed does get your Hotas out faster, but it's not necessary. Defense. So for defense, I like to take a look at what I got. I've got pretty low all res, and I have no life regen, I believe. Let's take a look. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of do like 50-50. So I'm going to do like 100 or so here, maybe 150. and then put a bunch over here. We'll just take a look. Yeah, see, look, that's pretty solid. Put the rest in that. And then in utility, 1 point in area damage, max out resource, and then put everything else in life on hit. That's going to help you survive. So right now we have 8,000 healing, which isn't that great. 4.5 million toughness, and these toughness and damage don't actually mean much. Let's take a look at the gear. So for my helmet, I have strength, fit, crit chance, hammer of the ancients. That's basically what you want. And Dariel's would also be really good because you get fire skill bonus. You can get fire skill bonus on that. For my shoulders, strength, vit, all res, earthquake damage. I think that's pretty solid. You could also get avalanche on that, or you could get just life percent. It's up to you. In the case that we have earthquake here, I could take earthquake instead of warcry, but I'm not going to. I don't think it matters. Obviously I'm not utilizing it, but this is just a demonstration. For amulet, fire skill, strength, crit damage, and I kind of bummed out and got attack speed, but I ideally want crit chance instead of attack speed. I want crit chance, crit damage, strength, fire skill. Same with rings, but in this case, average damage instead of fire damage, unless you get a Stone of Jordan or something like that. So average damage, strength, crit chance, crit damage. Both my rings are exactly that, and both rolled perfect crit damage, which is pretty sick. Well, I guess I rolled into that one, but gloves, same thing. Strength, vit, crit chance, crit damage. Bracers, crit chance, strength, vit, fire skill. It's all cookie cutter stuff. Strength, vit, armor, 3 sockets. Instead of armor, you would want all res, but mine rolled the secondary resist. Strength, vit, all res, life percent is ideal here. I only got the 3 main stats. Strength, vit, all res, 2 sockets. These are basically all you need. Boots, strength, vit, all res, hammer of the ancients damage. I rolled pretty low in the hammer of the ancients. I actually think I rolled as low as you can possibly get, but whatever, it's pretty solid. Weapons, you ideally want better things, and a very easy upgrade is the Mad Monarch Scepter, which you can farm pretty easily. For your weapons though, you just simply want to look for a socket, strength, and then high damage. That's all you really need. I rolled into bleed for here. You could roll into percent weapon damage, or you could roll into attack speed to increase your DPS a bit more. But these are still both just pretty solid. They're not amazing. Obviously this has more damage. So yeah, there's a lot of things you can kind of do. This is pretty cookie cutter stuff. I'm going to show you how this build works. I think we're on normal actually. Yeah, we are on normal. Okay, so we're going to go to Hall's Vegany. This is just to demonstrate the build. Show you how easy you can farm Torment 1. Hota does so much damage that it literally... Oh, good, only attack right off the bat. So you're going to get the 5 stacks of Frenzy, you're going to Avalanche, then you're just going to Hota. And then once you're out of Fury, just run around. You also want to use Furious Charge to gain Fury. Just going to be spamming Warcry until it's up. Ideally, you want to try to keep your Frenzy up. I'm just going to pull all these guys. Avalanche and then Hota. And Furious Charge, as I said, you can kind of charge through things, gain a bunch of Fury, and also it does a lot of damage. I'm critting right now for 6 million, which isn't the greatest, but it's, I mean, it's enough to do Torment 1. More than enough. See, I'm not really having any troubles. I haven't used a health pot yet. You gain so much life per fury spent with this build that you can kind of just always Hota, right? Mobs die pretty quickly. Obviously with better gear you'd be killing things even faster. So I almost died there because I didn't, or I didn't almost die, but I lost a lot of health because I was trying to get my frenzy stacks up instead of Hotoing. But you can see this build is just really simple. Tournament 1 is super easy. We have a lot of people in the clan who have troubles doing Tournament 1. And while this isn't the most efficient, you know, you can farm Tournament 1 and then that'll get you better gear. Just farming Tournament 1, doing some of the farm routes that I've made guides about. You know, you'll get the better gear. You just gotta play the game. Alright, thank you for watching.